They called it the Kill Zone, Omaha Beach, on the morning of June 6, 1944. If you were in a landing craft, you knew the odds were against you. But if you were a medic or a rifleman watching your brothers go down in that surf, you had a choice: stay behind the steel barricades or go out into that red water. Today, we're looking at Private Carlton W. Barrett. He didn't just survive Omaha, he turned the worst day of the war into a one-man rescue mission. This isn't just about tactical heroics. This is about the raw human cost of the beachhead. And let me tell you, this story is the heartbeat of D-Day. You've got to understand the atmosphere. The sea was churned up, the air was thick with the smell of gasoline and salt, and the German machine gun nests on the bluffs were firing down on them like it was target practice. The 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, was getting chewed up. The plan? It was out the window the second the ramps hit the sand. Barrett was a guide tasked with helping coordinate, but he quickly realized that his job wasn't going to guide, it was going to save. He saw the wounded, the drowning, and the confused, all trapped in the surf under a relentless barrage of mortars and heavy artillery. Barrett wasn't a medic, but he acted like one. He was wounded early in the action, hit by shrapnel, but you wouldn't know it. He didn't head for the medic station. He headed back into the water. Think about this. He's walking into the heaviest fire, completely exposed. He grabs a wounded soldier, drags him to the safety of the seawall, then turns around and does it again, and again, and again. He didn't stop until he knew he'd cleared the guys who couldn't clear themselves. You know, it's one thing to run into the fire to save a buddy, but it's another to do it repeatedly for hours while you're wounded yourself. What is it that allows a human being to override that instinct for self-preservation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. He was a lighthouse in a storm of steel. He wasn't looking for glory. He was looking for survivors. He spent hours working the surf, ignoring his own wounds, ensuring that every man he could reach made it to the shelter of the seawall. Barrett was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions, but he was just one of many who performed miracles that day. When you pair his story with our deep dive on Theodore Roosevelt Jr. at Utah Beach, you get the full picture of Normandy. You had the high-level command decisions, and you had the boots on the ground doing the impossible. Both men saw a disaster, one at Utah Beach, one at Omaha, and both refused to accept the result. Roosevelt took charge of the strategy. Barrett took charge of the lies. That's the quality of gallantry in action. It's not just about the mission success. It's about the soul of the unit. Carlton Barrett lived to tell the tale, and he remained a humble guy until the end. He knew that for every man he saved, there were others who didn't make it off the sand. That's the weight they all carried. If you could sit down with one of the veterans of Omaha Beach and ask them one question about their experience, what would it be? Drop it in the comments below. I read all of them. If you missed our deep dive on General Roosevelt Jr., go back and catch that one. It rounds out our Normandy series perfectly. My name is Kenny. This is Gallantry in Action. See you next time, and stay legendary.